Do you think Tower Fantasy is an exploration and cultivation game in the big world? Wrong, it's actually searching for clues. A game of unraveling mysteries. Why not come and investigate while playing games? It's better to help a little sister investigate together than to investigate. In this issue of Sherlock Holmes, Xiaofeng take everyone to crack it together. The first case of Gesto Sector Hot Search. Theft of Aurora Industries. It's not as simple as it appears on the surface. Various forces are involved in it. Conspiracy, don't yell, I can get this thing. You helped me. Conspiracy, Carl will cut me completely, calculation, and the fake files we prepared for them can also come in handy at that time. Revenge, a little girl named Siggy, pitifully begged me to teach her, because she wants to avenge Aurora Industries for her parents. Business war, Acerata, suppress the hot search of my company because of being investigated by the police. Performed to the fullest extent. Now let's analyze this case together. This case was first exposed in 4.0 PV of Tower Fantasy. The theft happened at Simon's lab in Aurora Industries HQ. I have pictures as evidence. The English translation here is Simon's laboratory. And Simon is the chief scientist of Aurora Industries. At the beginning, PV's three-knife man appeared with Huawei girl. From the conversation between the two, it can be seen that it is speculated that the two are siblings. Don't act like a carefree person again. Let the old man worry less. Okay, I got it. Why are you even more talkative than the old man at home? One of the important words is, this batch of archives involves a lot, and I can only rest assured of the interpretation work if you come. Pay attention to interpreting this word. Interpreting explains a key piece of information. The content in the file. People in Aurora Industries don't know. That's why we need to invite Huawei sister to help. So where did this file come from? Let's listen to the director of the public security. But that file is something belonging to the Federal Center. That's right, this file belongs to the Federal Center. Just with the help of the director. Was saved in Aurora Industries. The three-blade man invited Huawei May to come just to decipher the files. Someone may be confused. There were two burglaries in Aurora Industries. Once it was in PV. Once it was helped by the protagonist in the main storyline. Twice, the files were stolen. Why is Xiaofeng certain that the files mentioned by the director are from the PV? Because there is a conspiracy here. A conspiracy where even the Wednesday theft gang was deceived. Listen carefully to the director's words, and the fake files we prepared for them can also come in handy. Key points on the Greek calligraphy and painting of fake archives. Only one of these two thefts was a genuine file. That's the stolen files in PV. After the files were stolen, in order to retrieve the real files, the director and Aurora Industries have done two things. The first thing is to claim that the group has never engaged in theft. The second thing is that I accidentally leaked the information. The files are still kept in Aurora Industries building. Just change the location to the 13th floor. The leaked information is to attract those who were hooked on Wednesday. Do you understand now? Actually, Wednesday has already got the real file very early. But they were confused by the false information released, thinking that what he stole was a fake file. So he went to steal again in the main storyline. The second theft was a bureau set up specifically for Wednesday. Unfortunately, it was disrupted by the protagonist. If there is no space rift technology brought by the protagonist, Wednesday is a difficult day to escape in this operation. So why does Wednesday steal the files of Aurora Industries? There is not a very deep reason here. First, because Anka's parents were killed by Aurora Industries. The second reason is due to the exorbitant commission prices on the dark web. Pay attention to their conversation. This thing is done. It's enough for us to be carefree for a long time. It is obvious that this theft case was for the sake of wealth. But the purpose of one of them is unclear. That's Grey Fox, that's Huawei's sister. She used hacking techniques to open the door to theft. Is it because of dissatisfaction with the family? Or does she think it's just a small joke? If she really knew that this file came from the Federal Center, will she continue to act? These can only be expanded later on. Clarify these. We just figured out the authenticity of the theft. The mysterious situation behind the archives. Let's start with 6 more pictures. These pictures are Tower of Fantasy before the new version is opened. It was exposed. The 6 pictures are all related to the theft of Aurora Industries. It has to be said that after 2 years of player torture, Tower Fantasy has finally learned how to promote it. No longer always having something but nothing. It also knows how to do a good job of version preheating. But the content remains the same as the riddle person. Below, Xiaofeng will take you in depth to analyze these 6 images. The first one is a theft notice letter. The signature is the ACE of the Wednesday gang. However, it is important to note that this trailer is not a trailer for P5X. Not sent to Aurora Industries. Otherwise, at first read, Blade Man wouldn't be so comfortable either. The second one is the action plan of the Wednesday gang. Odin's Tavern is their secret base. The action begins here. Cross the spiral bridge to Aurora Industries HQ. The means of transportation are wheels driven by fast electricity. Grey Fox gets the ID card to help sneak in. There is a lot of information in the third picture. Let's take a closer look at each item. The first is that Aurora Industries recently announced to acquire new technologies. The new technology will be comparable to the operating efficiency of Omnium Energy equipment. First, let's add the background of Aurora Industries. Aurora Industries is a traditional leading enterprise in Esperia, but at the beginning of Omnium Energy's birth. Not striving for progress and remaining complacent. Missed the wave of Omnium Energy. Wait until the federal issue of the Omnium Energy Prohibition Act before regretting. Omnium Energy Prohibition Act is to maintain the current status of Omnium Energy technology. It is not allowed to carry out research and development of new Omnium Energy technology without permission. Since there are illegal ones, then there will be legal ones. The only enterprise allowed to continue to study Omnium Energy is Hadal Electronics. It is the opposite of Aurora Industries. The founder of Hadal Electronics is from Aurora Industries. He can't stand the conservative attitude of Aurora Industries. Bring out the gang and work alone. And took away many elites in Aurora Industries. This is also the reason why Hadal Electronics was able to rise rapidly. In this context, investors are more optimistic about the market prospects of Hadal Electronics. In contrast, the stock price of Aurora Industries has fallen all the way. The new technology here shows that Aurora Industries is ready to use it to boost investor confidence. But what is the new technology? Don't worry, keep reading. The second message comes from the dark web. Someone offers a reward for information on new technologies of Aurora Industries. Extremely high compensation. The remuneration is extremely high, and we need focus on key points. That's the purpose of the Wednesday gang. Extremely high remuneration. So who is publishing this message? Continue to read the third message. Halo Electronics announces the new technology of Aurora Industries will not give the market position of Omnium Energy products constitutes an impact. What gave Halo Electronics confidence to say that? Unless they have already taken some action. This action is to reward competitors with new technologies on the dark web. And someone has already taken on the commission. Still a well-known Wednesday theft gang. So this new technology is already on the verge of being released. It's the files that Anka stole from Simon's lab. But this file is not from Aurora Industries, but from the Federal Center. The fourth message. Several cutting-edge Omnium Energy technicians have disappeared recently. The fifth message. Simon, chief scientist of Aurora Industries, recently disappeared from the public's view. Where did they go? Someone will confuse the disappearance here with Anka's kidnapping. This is not right. We need to clarify the timing of the message first. From the bounty on the dark web. The messages in the pictures all come from before the theft occurred. Wednesday doesn't need space rift technology. And from the narration of Gray Fox. The kidnapping protagonist was also identified as a target after screen. So the disappearance of people here has nothing to do with Wednesday. What needs to be noted here is that Simon is the chief scientist of Aurora Industries. The location of the theft also happened to be in Simon's laboratory. So the truth is that Aurora Industries is for some purpose. Gathered these cutting-edge Omnium Energy talents to Simon Lab and prohibit them from contacting the outside world. This phenomenon is actually not uncommon. When a new technology or product is about to be released, personnel involved in research and development need to maintain absolute confidentiality. To the outside world, these people seem to have disappeared. Remember Domain 9's experiment against the dead? The participants are also prohibited from contacting the outside world. What is the purpose of gathering these people? The motivation for inviting Huawei Girl is the same. To decipher the archives of the Federal Center. Now we can review the first half of the theft case. The Federal Center has a file in Aurora Industries. This file is probably related to Omnium Energy technology. At this time, the share price of Aurora Industries fell sharply. Need to boost investor confidence. So they spoke out to announce the new technology. But in reality, they are preparing to decipher federal archives. Take possession of the technology within it. After the result message is released, Halo Electronics believes new technologies offered at extremely high prices on the dark web. Wednesday is often against Aurora Industries. They took on the task for a high reward. So a theft case occurred in PV. Has this file been successfully interpreted? From the results, it appears that Aurora Industries has made some achievements. If this shocking secret is exposed in my hands, it's not something my level can handle. It's just that these achievements are not something they can afford. That's the shocking secret that the director mentioned. This file does not bring new technology, but rather destruction. In the main storyline, when we collaborate with Wednesday, the elder sister once said, "Can a person who has been to the 13th floor still come out alive?" Aurora Industries is not a good enterprise. The matter of silencing will not be overlooked. The people involved in studying this file are already in good or bad luck. From the main plot perspective, now those who know the secret of this file are Director and Aurora President. But if the lost files are deciphered, then the consequences will be much greater. That's why the director said, Carl will cut him clean. The name Carl first appeared in the plot of Asperia 1.0. He was the last CEO of Hycros District 9. At the same time, he is also the head of the government of Asperia. The pressure exerted by the government of Asperia was also mentioned in the exposed materials. It means that Carl also knows this file. Combine these messages together. We came to the conclusion. The layout of the Wednesday gang in the main storyline. Carl, the Aurora CEO and director jointly set up. On the surface, Aurora Industries is responsible for providing venues for organizing meetings. Carl participated in the meeting. Indirectly increased the value of the meeting. These are all to attract Wednesday to take action again. In secret, Aurora Industries is upgrading the file positioning system. It was already located when Nora copied her identity card. But the location was identified by Gray Fox and played an ambush on Roslyn. But they still haven't escaped the last layer of preparation. That's the fake file prepared by the director. In this operation, Carl and the director are the people who hope Wednesday will succeed in the theft. Only in this way, they can easily retrieve the stolen real files. Wednesday seems to have successfully escaped. Actually, it has been completely exposed. The plot design is very clever this time. The most interesting thing is the source of the files. Because the files are from the Federal Center. Whether it's Halo Electronics or Wednesday, it's impossible to distinguish between true and false. As long as Aurora Industries insists that its new technology has not been stolen, then Wednesday can only continue with the crime. What secrets are hidden in this file? The answer is in another PV. Although Claire's PV has numerous flaws in its design. But it does tell us some conceptual content. The most important thing is that the federal government is conducting time retracement. Professor, my hypothesis is correct. The federal government is conducting time retracement. This file probably records the first time retracement experiment. That's why it's called the Amazing Big Secret. Speaking of this, we have to mention the Omnium Energy Prohibition Act issued by the federal government. This bill is extremely unreasonable, whether it is for traditional enterprises or new Omnium Energy enterprises. For opponents, the bill keeps the current status of Omnium Energy unchanged. It means nothing has changed. For supporters, the bill prohibits the emergence of new Omnium Energy technologies, restrains the development of Omnium Energy. Introducing a bill may seem like a compromise move. Actually, they are afraid that someone will go down to do time retracement experiments in private. That's why Jesto's sector doesn't even have a space rift. Because the folding and jumping technology has been monopolized by the upper class. Only Hycros and the Federation can contact. Then the first time retracement experiment must also be led by the Federation and Hycros. It is likely to be recorded in the archives. Aurora Industries thinks this is a new technology. They want to take it for themselves, but they didn't want to discover the shocking secret. Even the president of Aurora and the director of the public security can't afford this. The last message is Astra building reservation of new technology robot. Actually, this is also a helpless move. The building is surrounded by people protesting against Omnium Energy all day long. If the Aurora really has a technology comparable to Omnium Energy, that's also good for Astra Hotel. Next is the fourth image. It records Roslyn's handling of the case. The previous process has already been demonstrated in PV. The subsequent series of processes can sense that something is wrong with the case. The application to establish a task force was rejected, indicating that someone is obstructing the situation internally. Her uncle is also involved in it. Aurora refuses to disclose stolen item information and claim no losses. At the beginning, the purpose of doing this was to calm things down. If the files are stolen, they must be kept hidden. Later on, it also became bait for catching Wednesdays. The government instruction of Asperia is naturally from Carl. It means that Carl is also an insider. The fifth picture is a wanted list for Wednesday's gang. Now we know 3 members: Anka, Nora, and Grey Fox. But as for the disclosure, this picture is still very successful. The last one is Rosalind's demotion, because she insists on investigating further. This will disrupt the plans of the director and others. They can only kick her out of the sidelines first, but obviously underestimated Rosalind's sense of justice. Even without independent case handling rights, she is still pursuing Wednesday. But at the end of the new version of the plot, Rosalind has overheard the director's conversation. We don't know if her worldview has collapsed or not. The next version should encourage Rosalind to regain confidence. The analysis of the Aurora theft case is now complete. Multiple forces intertwined with each other. They are all competing for power and profit in it. But now it's just a halftime break. A bigger storm is about to strike. Wednesday's whereabouts exposed. Can they escape the pursuit? Rosalind demoted to junior police officer. Can she fight against collusion between officials and businessmen? Nora saw what was inside the 27th floor jar. Why would there be a reaction? The protagonist's first intervention in the lower world failed. Where is the next data specificity? Let's look forward to the future together. Follow Xiaofeng. Take you to experience a different tower of fantasy.